And we are live. I'm early and I'm going to add our comments. There we go. And we are ready to roll. Hey, Marcia, how are you? I'm trying to get myself organized. How are you doing? You're the first one here. We're early. It's okay. It's 4 minutes to 6 or what are you? Where are you? Are Texas. So what are you? An hour behind us? Is that right? I think you are. My dog is laying underneath my table and she's like doing a snore, but it's like a whine. I kept thinking, what is that noise? It's the dog. Oh my goodness. I think I'm gonna have to make one of these cards. I forgot all about this thing. I might have to do this. I've been cleaning house and I just found a little pull down, it looks like a box, but it's a card. I don't know how you'd have to put it in a padded envelope, I guess, but I might have to look into, I might have to pull this thing apart and do this again. Excuse me. Good. Mm. All right, so have you, hey Judy from Northeast Ohio, how are you? Welcome, welcome. We're just, the weather's been pretty nice here. I don't know how it is in y'all's neck of the woods, but yes, you're an out. Okay, I thought we were. Gosh, I can't remember the last time I was in Texas. I lived in Corpus Christi for 2 years from 98, yeah, 98 to 2000. Yes, I'm in Florida. I'm in Fort Myers. We just moved here about 7 months ago. We were living in the Villages, which is an hour kind of northish of Orlando and 30 minutes south kind of from Ocala, but originally from Virginia. I grew up in the Virginia Beach area. But we were in the Villages for 10 years, and then we moved into this life care community, which is pretty interesting. So we're probably on the younger end of the scale, but it's okay. You're better to be in a place, where they'll take care of you health-wise and get in while you're healthy. Because if you're not healthy, then I don't know if you qualify to get in or not. But we like it here. It's quiet and it's a small, not a lot of people here, believe it or not. So we enjoy it. So we're getting settled in, getting comfortable to living in a smaller space. But, I told my husband, I said, when you have a big house, you only live in the living room, bedroom, and the kitchen, right? So we don't need all that extra space. I just told him we walk a shorter distance to the bathroom, to the kitchen, and to the living room, and to the bedroom. So it all works out. But we like living here. It's a nice place. So we're right near the entranceway, actually, the bridge, the entrance to the beginning of the bridge to Sanibel, which obviously when we got hit by the hurricane, they got the brunt of that. But yeah, so that's where we are. And actually, I hardly ever leave. They call it the campus. I hardly ever leave the campus unless I have to go get my nails or my hair done. Because I found a lady outside that they have hair salons here and they have a nail salon, but they don't do my type of nails. So, but which is fine. So I don't get out. I don't leave our campus very often. So, but that's okay. You know, that's good. All right, we're just, oh, it's 7 o'clock already. All right, we're going to give a few more minutes, wait for the stragglers to come on. They'll start popping in here any minute now. So we'll give it another probably 2 or 3 minutes and then we'll get started. I'm only doing 2 things tonight. I'm doing a fun fold and then I'm doing this cute little mini purse. And you know what? I forgot to bring, oh, what am I doing? I got to look at I got to get my ribbon. What ribbon do I want to use? I'm thinking, oh, and I got to get a hole puncher. See, I'm glad I'm thinking about that because I would have to get up anyways. I'm going to get my hole puncher. Let's see, I need a stapler and I need my hole puncher. I think, am I doing that one? Am I doing that? I think I'm doing the little one. All right, I got to get my ribbon. That's the one thing I forgot to bring over. So let's see what we want to do here. No, I don't think I want that. That combo's not going to work. Let's see. I have to look at my colors and see what we're going to do here. Hello, Karen. How are you? We got people on board from on YouTube that are watching. Well, Marcia is, and then Judy's on Facebook, so that's a good thing. Let me see. What am I doing? I think I'll do this color. I'm picking out my ribbon. I forgot to pull it out, so I'm doing that right now. I tell you, I bought the in colors, but you know, with all the new, when they, you know, Stampin' Up! Did this color refresh, right? They brought back old, you know, with some retired colors and added, it's a total of 11 new colors, and it gets a little expensive trying to buy all the cardstock and inks and stuff, so I'm having to do just a little bit at a time. I think this will look fine. I think that'll look fine. You have to do just a little bit at a time. But I've pulled out all of my retiring stamps and dies and all that stuff. I've got one batch I've already loaded to my Etsy store, and I've got the other batch I just got all the prices, and now I have to go in and resize them to what Etsy wants, and then we'll go from there. So anyways, all right, it's 7:02. We're going to give it another minute or so, and then we're going to start. So those that aren't here are just going to have to pay attention when they come on, or they can go back and watch the replay. So, but that's okay, because I don't want to hold everybody up. I'm only going to do 2 cards tonight. We went out on the Shell Point has a pontoon boat that we go out. They always take us out. It's about 3.5 to 4 hours. We go out and take our time. We go to lunch. They always pick different restaurants that are on the water. And then we come back and take our time. And oh my gosh, on the way back, we were getting close to Shell Point. And we always have dolphins that are out along the, what's it called? The bulkhead. And there had to be probably 6 to 8 of them. And they were jumping and flipping and flopping. They were just having so much fun. So we kind of, the captain kind of pulled the boat over a little bit, and we just kind of watched them. Not that I see dolphins almost every day when I take Riley, the dog, out for a walk, because we walk along the water, and it never fails. Between around 3:30 or so, we'll start seeing dolphins out there, and they're hugging the that wall. I guess they're looking for fish or whatever, but it's so awesome to see that, you know. But anyways. All right, well, we're going to go ahead and get started. So those that come in late, they'll just have to watch the replay to see what they missed. So I'm going to go ahead and flip the camera down. I know, you know, there was about a month ago, and then I'll stop. It was about a month ago. I get a notice from YouTube when you go on, but not on Facebook. It automatically goes live. I don't know if it notifies people or not on Facebook, to be honest with you. If there's a way to do that, I'm not sure. I don't think I know how to do that. I'll have to look into that and see. But I should be on the Shall We Stamp VIP page. It's our VIP page. So if you're not a member there, then you need to go in and request to be a member, and then I can either myself or the computer assistant will get you on there. But anyways, okay, so I'm going to flip the camera down, and I lost my train of thought there for a second. Oh, got to hit the button. So, all right, this is April's tutorial, and this one is a big one. This is 52 projects. So if you place a $50 order in my online store and you use this host code right here, then you will get this bundle of tutorials emailed to you. It takes, once I get the notification that your order has come through, then I usually email you the link to pull this out of a Google Drive. But the nice thing I like about it, one, it shows you all sorts of different varieties of stamp sets and different things that people do, and we have demonstrators throughout all the other countries that participate in this as well. So you'll have measurements in inches and metric as well. And I think if even if you don't have the stamp set, you can incorporate whatever stamps you have and make it your own. So I think this is great to have on hand just for inspiration, if nothing else. So that's if you spend $50 in my online store. And if you don't have a demonstrator that you're working with, I'd love to have you work with me. I would greatly appreciate that. And again, this is the host code for the month of April. And then May 1st, I will post a new one. And we're going to be leaving on the 9th of May to go down to the British Virgin Islands, to the BVI for, I think we're going to be gone like 10 days. So I'm going to miss 3 Facebook Lives, but I'm going to try my best to try to record a couple of new card things, new stamp sets and cards or whatever. So, because I don't want you to go without seeing my face for 3 weeks, okay? So, anyways, all right, so I'm going to move this out of the way. All right, so let's get started. Now, I'm using the Irresistible Blooms, and I'm sure you all have seen this stamp set. This is the red rubber cling, so it's means it's sticky on the back, so it will stick to your blocks. And this has 11 stamps in it, and then it also has 13 coordinating dies. And this tonight we're going to use this one, and I've used this one before. So we're going to use this, and we're going to use a couple of these leaves right here. And outside of that, and we're going to use the paper that I don't think, this is the Hello Irresistible. This is not carrying over, so if you don't have this paper and it's still available, I would suggest that you go online and buy some. I think it's what, $12.50 or something like that for I think it's 48 sheets if I'm not mistaken. Some of the packs they've got in the new paper, some are 40 and some are 48. But and I'm sure you've seen other demonstrators using this paper. It's really, really beautiful. I mean, there's so many different color schemes in here. Using some of the soft sea foam and then some of the new colors that are coming back. And then the backs of them have got some kind of, plain geometric type background. So it's a really nice set of paper. So, but it's nice because your dies will also cut out the flowers that are on some of the papers as well. So if you don't have this, I would encourage you to get it before May 2nd, because their catalog will go, it will go out. You won't be able to get it after the 1st. We'll put it that way. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Let me show you the card. Now, this card I copied from Sue Stampfield. She and I belong to the same coaching group, and she popped up in my feed, and I saw this card, and I absolutely loved it. So this is the card that we're going to make. It's not that hard, believe it or not. It looks like it is, but it's not. And you open it up, and she calls it I think she calls this a V-fold. So I'm going to walk you through the steps of what we need to do and give you the measurements, and we'll go ahead and get started. So I'm going to lay that right there. Actually, let me see if I can put something on it that's going to hold it down. Here, we'll put a block on it for now. Okay, so I need to pull in my paper trimmer because we got to do some scoring. All right, so let's move this up here out of the way. Okay. So you're going to take a piece of 5.5 by 11 cardstock. I'm using white, and we're going to score this. So let me actually, I'm going to have to move this out of the way because I need to get my scoring arm. I got to get my arm open here. Let me get myself organized. Okay, so 5.5 by 11, and we are going to score it at 1 3/4. So let me get some of my stuff. I swear I got more stuff on my table, and I'm trying to be organized, but some days I just shake my head and go, what in the world? All right, so we're going to score it 1 3/4. So I'm going to come up here and line this up. And I recommend, if you guys don't have this paper trimmer, I would highly encourage you to get one because it's got the measurements every 1/4 inch, and it's got also has it in centimeters, so that's helpful if you do stuff in both. All right, then we're gonna go to 3.5, and the arm opens up to 17 inches. All right, so we're gonna, next score line is gonna be 3.5, okay? And then we're gonna move it down to 5.25, which is gonna be our center mark, right? And then we're gonna do 7 inches. So we're gonna line that up at 7, make sure it's butted up. All right, so that's gonna be what we need to do. So let me move this out of the way, and then we'll go ahead and fold. All right, so of course our 5.5 is gonna be our base card, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and fold that and burnish it. All right, and then these over here, we're gonna fold back on the 1 3/4. So we're gonna fold back, and then we're gonna fold it forward because this is gonna give us that, for those that are just joining, it's gonna give us this little piece right here, like your W, if you will. Okay, so it's gonna look like that. So we would have basically a mountain, a valley, and then we're gonna fold this one back right here. This one's gonna go back. So let me turn my cardstock over and do it like that. Okay, and then of course that one's gonna come like that. All right, so that's what it's gonna look like. All right, so that's our base of our card. All right, and then you're gonna also need, let me get my pieces out here. You're gonna also need another piece of basic white. Whoops, hang on a minute, I just dropped a leaf, hold on. Those little guys, they like to jump off the table. And I have to be careful because they're just so tiny and you don't see them. Okay, then you're gonna get another piece that's gonna be cut, and this is gonna form that V part. This is 3 inches by 6 and scored at 3 inches. And I went ahead and scored that, which it looks like it's off a little bit, doesn't it? So let me just push this up a little bit and see if we can get him to squish down to where it's gonna be burnished right. Okay. All right, so 3 by 6 and then score at 3 inches, okay? So we're gonna put this off to the side for just a minute. And then we're going to cut, you want some designer paper, that's gonna be for my envelope. All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna cut some 2 strips of designer paper that you're gonna place here and right here, okay? And then we're gonna take another piece and we're gonna emboss it, and I embossed it with the Splatters. It's the one that goes into the mini boss machine. It's the Splatter. Oh, let me see, I've got it right here, hang on. Let me tell you what the name of it is so without. Stripes and Splatters. I like the splatter look for some reason. I always use it. All right, so this is, let me get to my thing. I think it's 1.5 by 5.25. And the 2 strips of designer paper are gonna be the same thing. 1.5 by 5.25, and those are gonna go right here, okay? So we're gonna glue those down in just a minute. And then we're gonna need 2 pieces of cardstock that are 2 7/8. They're 2 7/8 square, so 2 7/8 by 2 7/8. And then you want some designer paper, which will be 2 3/4 square or 2 3/4. So, and I chose the Daffodil Delight because it has some yellow in with this Flirty Flamingo, and I thought that might look nice. And so you notice how instead of going down 1/4 inch, I only went down 1/8 of an inch just to give you a little bit of that yellow color, but not too much. All right, so those are the measurements, and we'll put that together here in just a minute. And then this piece here, that's the die. Now I left it on here because I put our adhesive sheets on the back, so I ran that die through the machine, and now we're going to take this apart, not take it apart, but we're going to take it off this thing here, and we're going to lay it right on the edge. Now I did not, when I ran this, I didn't run it all the way because it's quite bigger than what I wanted, so this may not go all the way to the bottom of the card base, which is fine. I'm not going to worry about that. I'll just get it to where it leaves a little bit of a gap. Hopefully I can do it with it on the top and bottom. So what we're gonna do, hang on a minute, I gotta poke these little guys off here. We're gonna poke all these little pieces out. Of course, I didn't do that I was going to wait and do it. And I probably should have done it beforehand so you don't have to sit here and watch me do it. But anyways, that's what we're going to do. We're going to pop out all these little pieces that we don't need. And actually, I'm going to get these out of here. Hang on a minute. I got to cut this down because I think, I'm just going to trim that just a little bit. There we go. All right, so give me just give me a second. I'm going to pop these little guys out. And then I'll start peeling the sticky paper off the back. But I'm going to try to get all these little pieces off first. And then this is going to cling. So hang on a minute. Let me cut this off right here because these are the pieces that we don't need. So, and it's just going to have the little stringy thing. So let me just trim that right there so I can get it off, get it out of my way. There we go. Okay. So this is this is not that hard. It's just a little tedious because you got to pop out all these little pieces. And most of them are stuck because I've got the adhesive sheets on them. So I'm just going to flip it over and try to get one of my, see, I'm going to try to pull out the ones that I know I can get the bigger ones. Because all we want is those little circle things, right? So I can pull off these. So this right here I can pull off because this one we don't need him. And then once I get these out of the way, then we will be able to plop this down where it needs to go. And see, here's another one right here. And you have to be careful because these little, it does want to start pulling. So I'm going to start pulling off the thing here because it's sticking. So let's see how this is going to work. I know I'm making it look a lot harder, aren't I? I don't like these little pieces stuck in there, but it's stuck because of the, there we go. Let me get the other ones off, and then we're going to come in, and then I can poke the rest of them out. So I'm going to go ahead and try to start peeling these off. And then once I do, then we're going to lay it down on the right side, on the inside of the card. So let's see. I'm going to start, let me try to start in the center, and that might start pulling everything else. Hang on a minute. There we go. Now we see we'll start getting them. Now the rest of them will start coming off. So the only problem is you've got all the adhesive, so you got to be careful because you don't want everything sticking together, right? So let me get my craft mat here because I need to lay that down so I can take off. And we don't want to rip it. It's really fine. There's probably a better way, but I'm making this look like it's really hard because it's sticking to my fingers. But you know, I have to do everything the hard way, right? Isn't that crazy? All right, so let's just see if we can peel this stuff off. Once you get one going, they all seem to want to come off. So unless somebody's got a better idea of how to, there we go. Once you grab one end of it, then it tends to come off. So, and I just want to keep it flat so they don't start attaching to each other. And then I can pull the little extra pieces off. See this one right here once, there we go. So that's why I try to use my fingers just to hold it in place. Actually, we'll do it like that so I can get my hands off. There we go. And then I just need to pull the paper off this side right here. I know you'd think that I would, whoopsie. You'd think I would have done this, but I wanted you to see that it's like, it's really not that hard. I guess if you use something to help hold it down and pull it at the same time. And I probably need to get, I'm just trying to find a spot where I can pull the backing off that sticky paper. There we go. Usually if you get around the dots, then you can get them pulled off. There we go. All right, so we got all of that. So let's move this out of the way. Put that in my trash can. The sticky paper is really helpful, but it does, you know, gets to be a little bit of a pain if you don't have a great, you know, probably should have used my tweezers. That might have worked a little bit better. So now it's stuck to my finger. Hang on. Okay, so what I'm going to do is, whoops, I'm going to lay this on here. And I'm going to try to get it to where it's going to lay flat. And I think I'm going to move it this way. And there's no right or wrong. I don't believe there's a top or a bottom. But I'm going to lay this down, and then I'm going to work to getting these things straightened out. So I want to make sure, though, that I get it, and I leave, try to get as close as I can as far as, you know, my same difference on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to lay that right there just to get my fingers off. And I think I can move it down just a little bit more. So I haven't stuck it down yet. So let's see what we can do here. Get it down a little bit more. I think that'll work. All right, so I'm going to push this side down. And then I'm just going to work my way over to get these guys to where they look like they're supposed to be spaced correctly. So we'll just pop all those down. So really, once you get the backing off of it, it's not that hard. And then I do have one little piece right here that didn't pop out. So I'm going to make sure he gets out of there because we need that, we want that hole to show through. All right, and then we're going to lay this there, and then we'll get this, and then you can just kind of play with it and then push it down once you get it where you want them to be. So I'm going to move this one over a little bit. You know, it's kind of, this part's a little tedious, but it's not that bad. And then, of course, I got little pieces of my paper stuck on there. And then this little guy right here doesn't need to be there. This is the part where I cut it off from the breast. So I'm just going to snip that there. And I'm going to snip this one right here too. I think that's fine. All right, so I'm just going to push these down, make sure I've got them, move this one over just a little bit more. All right, just to give it a little inside of the look of the card, okay? So when the card's going to be closed, then that's what you're going to see, all right? So there's that. That's why you really need to use the sticky sheets. I mean, you could put, you know, use your liquid glue and do little dabs of it, but I think that would probably be a lot harder to do. All right, so now I'm going to go ahead and add our layers on here. So I'm going to take the piece that I embedded, or embossed, I mean, and this is that 1 and, what did I say, 1 1/4? 1 1/4 by 5 1/4, if I'm not mistaken. I'll double check that again. Hang on. I squeezed my glue earlier to make sure it got going, because it sits over on this side of the desk. I don't use this one as often, unless we're doing a Facebook Live. So I'm going to go ahead and lay this here. And it's white on white. I kind of think that looks pretty. So we're going to lay that right there. And then we're going to take these pieces, and these are the back sides of those flowers. And this has a little bit more of the yellow, so I thought that would look nice there. So I'm going to go ahead and lay these down. I hate covering up the flowers, but, you know, got to do what you got to do. So we're going to add some adhesive here. And then we'll lay this down. All right, so, and then I'm going to try to make sure I get these lined up with each other so that they're all in the same line. And I think that's pretty good there. Let me look at it. Yep, I think that's fine. Move them over just a tad. That's one thing nice about the liquid glue is it does allow you to move it. Gives you a couple of seconds to move your stuff to get it positioned. All right, and then we're going to put this one. No, I think I'm going to go like this. I'm going to put this one right here. We're going to line him up right about like that. All right, so that's so far so good. All right, so we've got that part done. Set that off to the side. Now I'm bringing in my 3 inch by 6 inch, and this is where we're going to add these squares. So I'm going to go ahead and add my flowers. And I chose the ones that have a little bit more yellow and used the Daffodil Delight. And the other card that I initially showed, I used Flirty Flamingo cardstock. This one I thought I'd try to pull the yellow out. And these are 2 7/8 is the cardstock. And then the square of designer paper is 2 3/4. So it's just going to give us 1/8 of an inch. Not much, just to see a little bit of that yellow peeking through. And then we have this one. So we'll go ahead and add this one on here. All right. Okay. Let me get up in the camera a little bit more. Sorry about that. It's so hard when you're under camera because you can't, you know, when you craft, right, you always put it right in front of you, and here you have to do it out in front, so, but that's okay. All right, so these are going to go on here, just like that, all right? So we're going to go ahead and add some adhesive to these, and we're going to put those on our piece of basic white. And I'm going to lay this one right about here. And get that. So just a little bit of the white showing as well. And then this one, we're going to put that one right there. So it really is an easy card. The only thing that looked hard was doing that that die from the Irresistible Dies, but you know, you don't have to put that there. You can always put something else if you want, right? Okay, so there's that. And then I think what I'm going to do before I put this I'll do the sentiments after because those will be easy enough to put on here. So I'm going to go ahead and attach these onto the card base. So what we're going to do is I'm going to put some adhesive here, and I'm going to have it so it's somewhat, you know, maybe a 1/4 of an inch. It's just going to depend so I'm going to put some adhesive on the back, and I'm going to, I'm going to put it up, let's say about a 1/4 an inch, and then I'm going to close that, right? So I want to get it back here. I'm sorry, I'm going to pull it back here about a 1/4 of an inch or so, and I'm going to see how that's going to look, and then if I lay this one down, okay? So I can move it in a little bit or pull it out a little bit. So I'll probably pull it out about like that, okay? So then what I want to do is, yeah, we're going to leave it right about where that little mark is. I'm going to put some seal, since it's going to be opening and closing. I'm just going to put some seal right here, if I can get it to work. Okay, so we're going to put a little piece of seal there, and I'm going to lay this about like that. And I think I want to get it a little bit more centered in the card, actually. I think that looks centered, don't y'all? All right, so then we're going to close this down. Make sure it's centered, hopefully. Okay, close that down. And then this should go like that. All right, so that's going to work. So we're going to go ahead and put our adhesive on the back. So that makes it pretty easy to get it to close. You just line it up, and I'm using the seal just because it's stronger. That's all. All right, so okay. All right, so see how that looks? Doesn't that look cute? So there you go. All right, now we're going to do our sentiments. So I am going to bring in, I've got 2 pieces of scrap white, and I'm going to use the sentiments of, this is the other one. I was trying to find which other one I'm going to do. I couldn't be happier to have you as a friend, and I think I should be able to hopefully get that on here. Let me just check, because I might have, yeah, I think that'll fit. I'm going to cut this down. So we're going to stamp this in Flirty Flamingo. And then I've got my I've got some white leaves here. Now I should have 3. Hang on a minute. Oh, got one hiding in the envelope. And I'll put these down after we place the sentiment on here. And I'm going to pop that up on dimensionals. This side I'm going to pop up. So let's go ahead and I'm going to ink this up in Flirty Flamingo. Make sure I get enough ink on it. And then I'm going to stamp this, and I'm going to probably cut this down and make a banner. All right, so I'm going to trim this. Let's see, how much room do we need? Yeah, I'm going to have to trim that up some. We may not do a banner. Let's see. All right, let's see how it goes over here. And we might still be able to do a banner. I think I'm going to trim it. Yeah, I'm going to have to trim it some more. Let me, give me just a second here. Let's trim this up, or trim it down. I'm going to trim this just a little bit. I'm going to move it over to a 1/4 of an inch. Hopefully that doesn't take off my, yeah, I think that's going to be close. All right, and then I'm going to trim it down. Actually, you know what we can do? Hang on a minute. Let me see what we can do here, because I want to trim. Okay, we're going to trim this. We're just going to trim it short. I was going to cut it at an angle, but maybe I better not. All right, so I'm going to get this in here, and I'm just eyeballing it just so it doesn't go over. I knew I picked a stamp that was going to be a little bit large, but I wasn't sure if I'd be able to pull it off with having it. So I'll just trim this one off too. We won't do a banner. I was going to either do a banner or cut it side at an angle sideways. Hang on a second. I don't want to trim off my little... All right, let's see how that goes. This should work. You just have to make things work, right? All right, so let me pull my little sheet back in here. All right, so let's see if that's going to fly. I think that will fly. All right, so let's go ahead and add some dimensionals, and we'll put some dimensionals on here. And I'm going to just put 3 right kind of next to each other. And we'll just pop these off, and then I'm going to add those little white leaves underneath. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to put that right about there. Okay, And then I'm going to take this, let me close up my ink pad so I don't, actually, let me just stamp my other sentiment and then we'll deal with him in just a minute. All right, hang on a minute. Let me go ahead and stamp this one up and then I can finish that. All right, we're going to put hooray, it's your day. Okay. All right, set that off to the side. We'll move him out of the way. Okay, now we've got these little tiny white leaves here. And we're just going to try to use these as like a little bit of a decoration. Hopefully they'll show. I'm just going to add a couple of dots of our Tombow. If I can get it to come out. Hang on a minute. Okay. You know, sometimes it gets a little stubborn, doesn't it? All right. And we'll get some, there we go. And we will take our tweezers. Let me put that on there so I can add some glue towards the bottom. Just a couple little dabs. There we go. All right, so we're going to place that. Let's see. I think I'm going to do it. I think I'm going to do it this way. So I'm going to put this. Not sure if that's, well, we're going to do it this way. And I could have done this probably before I added it to the card. It probably would have made it easier, but that's right. You know me, I got to do things difficult. So we're going to lay that there just to give it something to kind of stand out. And we've got another one, so let's do, and I'm going to lay this one the same way. I'm going to face him the same direction. So we'll go ahead and put a little bit of glue on this thing. And you could do this in a different color too. It doesn't have to be white. But it really does make the card look clean, doesn't it? So this one, I'm just going to lay it right, kind of overlapping that one at it, and just pull it over just a little bit. Like that, and lay that down. Push it out just a little bit. And then I got one more, and we'll just put him at the top. So we'll just stick him in here. Tell you what, they made these little leaves, and they don't give you much room to put glue on, that's for sure. But that's okay. We make it work. And we'll just stick this one. We'll just put him over here by his little lonesome, like that. All right, so we got that. All right, now we're going to add some of the little jewels that come with this. As soon as I locate them, I know I have them. Oh, they're right in front of me. All right, so these are the loose frosted dots. Now, they don't have any adhesive on them, so we're going to have to put glue dots, but they're really cute. I just really like these. So let me grab my glue dots. Okay, y'all hanging in there? All right, so let me get, let's see, I'm going to pull out a pink one, and I'm going to stick it on here, and then I'm probably going to have to pull the glue dot, and I'll have to just twist it around. Hang on, let me get should be using my tape. I use my scissors instead of my pick tool. I'm not sure why I do that. And then I'm going to take another one. Let's take this one off, and then I just take the glue dot. You can always tear it in half. I'm just smushing it around so it goes underneath. That way you know it's there. And it's got enough adhesive on it that it's not going to go anywhere. So I'm going to put him right about there. And then I think I'm going to add a yellow one. And I'm going to go back and tuck in, you know, the glue dot. Or you can tear it in half, whichever works for you. Or roll it. So in this case, because this is kind of big for these little tiny guys in here, right? Look at this little tiny one. So I think I'm going to use the bigger ones. So I'm going to take a yellow one. They're all sticking to my fingers. Whoopsie. So I'm going to take this yellow one, and I'm going to roll my glue dot up and put that on the back of it. And hang on a minute. All right, so we've got him on there. So I think I'm going to put him, I'm going to add another pink one, but I'm going to put him right here. Now, if you're going to put these on here, I always take a piece of, you know, like 4.25 by, or 4 by 5.25 piece of cardstock, or, you know, some kind of a scrap, and I put that over there before I mail it, because I don't want it to, you know, it's going to go through the postage thing, so you want to make sure. I'm going to add a little glue to this. Let's see how that works. I'm going to put a little dot of glue on this one, and see if how that works as far as the glue. Well, let's see what's going to happen. So that's what I do to try to keep it from popping out, and then you have to pay extra postage. So sometimes if you put that little piece of cardstock on it, it will flatten it down, and you don't have to pay any extra. All right, so we're gonna put him right there. All right, we're gonna let him sit for a minute because I put liquid glue on him. All right, now I've got this one here, and we're gonna put that on that side there. So I'm going to go ahead and cut this one down, and I think this one I will do in a banner. So I'm gonna cut it down to right about there, and we'll trim this one down a little bit as well. We'll make this one fancy because it says "Hooray, it's your day." So we're gonna make this one into a banner. So just cut up from into your center. No, I didn't get that into the center. And then just trim from corner to corner, and it kind of helps. It makes an easy banner that way. And then we'll do this side too. This one's a little crooked. Hang on. I don't know how to cut straight. All right, so we're gonna snip there and right there. All right, so let's get all these little pieces out of the way. And this one I'm just gonna lay flat because I don't wanna have too much bulk inside the card. So we'll go ahead and just add some adhesive to this one. All right, and then we'll lay this one down on the inside right here. All right, so put that there and let that dry for a minute. Let me pick up my scraps so I can get these out of the way. And then the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna decorate our envelope. So let's go. All right, so there's our card. Make sure he's dry. Hang on, he's still moving around. All right, so there's our card. Isn't that cute? And it really was pretty easy. Isn't that neat? So very simple. So if you didn't write the measurements down, you'll have to come back and watch. Now we're gonna go ahead because, you know, we don't want to leave paper laying around, right? We've got too much designer paper, at least I do. That's all I can tell you. So I try to decorate all my cards. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this side for my envelope. Hi from Idaho. Oh, that's okay. I know you had to fix your husband's dinner. All right, so now, whoops, let me get my thing in here. All right, so we're gonna put some, whoops, I'm gonna use my seal. You can use the liquid glue, but I like to use the seal when I do my envelopes. I guess because it just, I don't know, I feel like it holds it much better. So we're gonna just do like that and that. And then I just run a strip right along the fold. Okay, so if you're not done, if you have lots of paper, if you've got a lot of pattern paper and you're not using it, this is a great way to dress up your envelope. Not only will you make the mail person happy, you're going to make your recipient of the card happy as well. So we're just going to lay that right down. And then, of course, we'll just take our snips and we'll fussy cut right around the edges and just follow the outside. I kind of lean my scissors to the right so it's not cutting my envelope itself. And then just go around and follow the trail. I remember years ago we had envelope liners that we would cut that would decorate our envelopes. And I sold those years ago because I never used them. But anyways, I think this is pretty. And you can also decorate the inside as well. You just have to cut a piece to fit and then slide it in there. You don't have to glue it down, but just, you know, glue it from here. And then there you go. We have our card with our decorated envelope. Isn't that pretty? And then we have our coordinating card. What do you think about that? Isn't that cute? Yeah, it does. These are a little bit higher, but I think, and plus it's folded, so this one might have to, but you might be able, if you put something over top. When I send cards to soldiers, I have, I was always writing on a piece of cardstock, place on top of your card before you mail it, if it had a little bit of bulky stuff. So I got smart and started, I typed up a bunch of labels. So now I put the labels on the little piece of scrap paper so they can lay that on the top of it. So when they mail it back, it doesn't, whoops, my little thing just came off. Look at that, my yellow one. So it doesn't get, but most of the time I've not had any problems with my cards going through. So it's worked so far for me and I've not heard anything back. So there you go. Isn't that a cute card? So there we go. There's that one. All right, now we're going to move on to our, oh, you're going to love this. All right, let me get myself organized. Give me 1 second because I'm trying to stay organized and put my stuff back in my little caddy here. So thank you guys for watching. Okay, let's see. Let's put that in there. All right, so we're good. Okay, now I'm going to show you 2 of these. I got this This one I got from Wendy Cranford, who is Lovin' Stampin'. I found this directions from her, and it was such a cute little, this is a gift card holder. It's a little mini purse, and I made two, but I will tell you that the second one, and I'll show you my little my little boo-boo. All right, so here's the little gift. It's a purse, right? Isn't that cute? All right, so we're going to open it up. You know, these are a Velcro dot, and then we open it, and then you've got a fold here to put a little note, right? You see that? And then your back side right here is where you can put a gift card, or you can put some money if you're going to see them in person. So here we can put our little, like my little doggy. So you can put your gift card there. Here's your little note, and then just close it shut. Oops, my glue right here did not seal very well. And then you close it shut, and then there you go. Isn't that cute? And you can decorate the front if you. I didn't decorate the front. I just left it like that. And you could probably, I don't know if you want to give this to a boy, but you might be able to somehow finagle to make it look like maybe like a book bag or something. You know. Now this is using the Country Inn paper, if I'm not mistaken. And then this is, now I put my thing on, so be careful and don't do what I did. This one I got on straight. This one I used one of the dies, the stitch shape, and I can't remember where it's from. This one I used a different die, but as you can see, it's off-centered. All right, so I tried to get it, move it over. Once I got it on there, it was stuck, but you can see it's the same. So we're gonna fold the designer paper is what makes the two pouches. Isn't that cute? Let me get in here. Isn't this cute? I just thought this was precious. I mean, you could do this like for Mother's Day. You know, you could put a gift card in there for Mother's Day, or, you know, for birthdays. You put money if it's going to be from grandchildren. You're going to see them or whatever. All right, so that is what we're going to make this evening. So I'm going to set those over there, and I'll give you all of the instructions. Let me get myself organized here. Give me 1 second. I got to pull my tools in because I need my tools. Now you will need a stapler, and you'll need a small hole puncher. Of course, we don't sell those. So I'm using the ones that we used to sell. Now I'm going to use, I had ordered this, the Countryside corners. This is the stamp set, and of course now if you haven't, well, you all haven't noticed, but for those of you that are not demonstrators, Stampin' Up! Has started naming our dies the same name as the stamp set. So that way we don't have to think about, okay, this is country, so it's got to be country something, right? They're the same name. So the stamp set's Countryside Corners, and the dies are Countryside Corners. So the stamp is one stamp that looks like this. I didn't bring it over here because I'm not using the stamp. And then you can cut it down, and you can like layer it. So I haven't worked with that yet, so that's the next thing I'm going to do. However, now that I have this, I'm going to use the third largest die, and I went ahead and cut that. So I have my piece for my flap to my purse, okay? All right, so let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna give you the measurements for everything first before we do anything, okay? All right, let me get myself organized here. Give me 1 second. That's that. This goes on the front of that. This goes here. Okay, so you're gonna start out with a piece of designer series paper, and we're going to do some scoring, okay? And so let me get my trimmer in here. Excuse me. All right, this is cut at 6 by 10. So this is the new Daisy paper. I forget the exact name. I'm sorry. I'm bad about that. I should write that stuff down. It's really beautiful paper, and this is the back side. This has got a blue background. I just think it's just stunning. And then this one is part of that pack as well. And this is one of our new in colors, which is Wild Wheat. And I thought it went well with that, which is the Wild Wheat. And I thought that was really pretty, so that's why I used that one. Okay, so 6 by 10. All right, now on the 3-inch side, which is, I'm sorry, not 6-inch side, we're going to score it at 3 inches. Okay, so this is the 6. Obviously, that's the 10. So we're going to score this at 3 inches. All right, so let me make sure it's lined up top and bottom. And we're going to score at 6 inches. I'm sorry, 3 inches on the 6-inch. I'll get it straight. 6 inches, we're going to score it on the 6-inch side, 3 inches. So we're going to bring this down and score that. All right, So that's our 3-inch. Now we're going to turn it. This is the 10-inch side. Let me open the arm. Now on the 10-inch side, we are going to score it at 3 inches. So we're going to score it here at 3. And then we're going to score it, move it down to 7. And we're going to score it 7, okay? All right, so we're going to do that. All right, so that's what we're going to do there. And then, and we'll go back and fold that in just a minute. Then we're going to take whatever you want for your base of your purse. I'm using Garden Green, and this is 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. Okay, so 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, and we're going to score this. And of course, all of this is going to be scored on the 8 1/2 side, right? So we're going to score at 3 1/4. I'm going to line that up at 3 1/4. And then we're going to move it over to 3 3/4. And then we're going to move it to 4 1/4. 4 3/4. And then 5 1/4. And this is what we're going to fold to make our purse, okay? So we'll go over that in just a minute. All right, and I think that's it for the scoring, if I'm not mistaken. All right, then you're going to need a piece of the designer paper, which is going to be, hang on a second, 3 by 4. Hang on, let me just make sure. It should be 3 by 4. Yeah, 4 inches and then 3 inches. So 4 inches wide by 3 inches tall, okay? And then for the inside, for our little note cards, you're going to have 2 pieces of the whatever coordinating cardstock, and I'm using, again, it's Garden Green. These are 3 3/4 by, now this one I've got it at 2 3/8. So 3 3/4 by 2 3/8, and then you want 2 pieces of basic white, and these are going to be 3 1/2 by 2 1/8. Okay, so 3 1/2 by 2 1/8. All right, and then of course I did my flap using the die from that stamp set. Hello from Bellevue, Wisconsin. How are you? All right, so let's start with scoring our. Let's do our paper first. All right, so I'm gonna fold a little bit in the center because I got to see. We're gonna do some folding here, but I just want to see where that is, okay? And then we're gonna take and fold. I'm feeling my score line, so I'm gonna fold this along the score line, and then we're gonna turn it around this way, and we're gonna score it on this score line as well, okay? All right, so that's that. Now, we're gonna take, I'm gonna crease this a little bit here because we need to get this. All right, so we are going to cut up the center, all right, up to that first score line. So we're gonna take our snips and we're gonna cut right in the center up to the first score line, and we're gonna do that at both ends, okay? All right, and then we're gonna come back to this one, and I'm gonna cut this one right down the center. And those of you that just joined, I'll show you what we're making in just 1 second. All right, this is what we're making. It's a little gift card holder. It's a purse. You open it up, and then you've got a spot where you can put 2 little note cards or a gift card. All right, so we've got them cut down the center. We have these loose flaps, right? So all we're gonna do is we're gonna take this corner and we're gonna fold it so it runs parallel with the score line right here, and just bring it over without tearing it. So you just want to gently maneuver it and get it so it lines up on the edge of the cards of the designer paper. Okay, so you're just going to kind of make like you're starting to make a football. You remember you did paper football? All right, and then we're going to do the same with this one. So we're going to move this one. There's my score line. So I'm just trying to force it. I'm kind of forcing it, but without forcing it, you know. And then I'm going to get it lined up there, and then this should make my sides should be even, which they are. Okay, and you're going to do that on the other sides as well. So we're just going to, I always hold my finger here until I can get it moving. without, because I don't want it to tear, which it shouldn't. So I'm just going to kind of, again, I'm trying to move it down on that score line. And then once I get it towards the edge, and now this one is going to be a little bit difficult. All right, let's see. And all right, he's a little bit off, but let's see if we can get him, to move over a little bit. And it should be fine. It's not going to make that big of a deal, but we'll just push it down. Okay. And then we want to do this one as well. Okay. So this one we're going to push over, get it lined up there, and hopefully they're even, and get it like that. Okay. All right. Then you're going to fold it in half like that, right? And then we're going to, oh wait, no, I lied. We're going to fold it in the center. Oh, not that way, I'm sorry. We're folding it this way and fold back on, all right, let me make sure I get this right. Folding it here and fold corners and towards the front. All right, hang on, I have to think about this. Hang on. I wrote my notes down. Fold with score line and center. Oh, this is how. I'm doing it backwards. All right, hang on. This is it. All right, so we're going to fold it down on the 10-inch towards the center. I knew I had it wrong. All right, so we're going to have it like this, right? See that? And then we're just going to turn it over, and then there are our pockets. Okay? I want me to show you that one more time. I kept thinking I had it fold on this. You want that. You want the score line being horizontal. Okay? And fold your corners in like that, and then fold it back, and that's going to be your pocket. Okay? So that's pretty easy. You got that? So far, so good. So we're going to let that sit there for just a minute. Now we're going to come in and we're going to fold our cardstock that we just scored. And of course, it's dark, so it's going to be hard to see this. So we're going to fold on this line here. This is the larger squares on each side. And then the next one, we're going to fold it up. So we're going to do the Mountain Valley thing. And we're going to burnish, and then this one's going to come back. You with me so far? Then this one's going to go back like that, and we'll come back in and give it a good burnish in a minute. And then this is our last one, so we're going to fold that one back this way, and then that forms our purse. Okay, so you've got, see how it is? It's got that. All right, do you see? All right. So I'm going to go and give this a good burnish. And we're going to burnish the center one, and then we're going to bring this one in, and then we'll turn it over and do it one more time. Okay? All right. Pretty simple. Once you get the hang of flipping and flopping it. All right. Now, oh, I forgot my tear tape. Hang on. Got to get my tear tape out. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is we are going to put some tear and tape. Let me think about this now. I'm going to put tear and tape here. Now this, we're going to put some tear and tape on the outside. This is going to go in here, okay? Once we get ready to do that. That's going to go in there like that. And then we're going to staple this together. But before we do that, we're going to add our piece of card designer thing to the front. So let me get my flowers. So we're going to put this right on the front of the card. Either side you want is the front because it's both the same, okay? So let's go ahead and add that before I forget and then I've screwed up. So let's add that. It really is an easy card. When I first started doing it, I was like, oh my God. And then I had, you know, I watched it and I thought, oh, well, that's really not that hard to do once you get the hang of it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and add this here. This is what we're going to add. And lay that there. I love this paper. This is just so pretty. Just gorgeous paper. All right. Okay. So we're going to put some tear and tape here and right here because that's going to hold this together. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that. And I got to find the edge of my tear and tape here. All right, so let's get that in here. Let me just see. I always have a hard time with tear and tape. I don't know. For some reason, I can't seem to tear it. I always have to cut it. All right, so we're going to put that right there. And I think that's good. I'm just going to trim a little bit off just so it doesn't hang off the side. All right, so we got him there, and then we're going to put another piece right here on this side as well. Okay, so let's get that. And all right. I just think this is such a cute card. And, you know, this can be really, it could be, you can make this to like a wedding, you know, make it in for like a wedding gift. If you want to give them a gift card, it could be Mother's Day, you know, whatever birthday card. It's whatever you want it to be. Yeah, I guess it's going to have to be for females, right? Because you can't, I mean, I don't think boys are going to want a card. I mean, a purse. All right, so we've got that on there. Let me look at my other one. This one, for whatever reason, my tape is not sticking to my card. I wonder why it's doing that. Oh, well. Okay, so let's peel this off so we can get our card on the outside glued shut. Well, wait a minute. Let me see before I do that. Hang on a minute. Yeah, we're going to put that in there. Put that in there. Yeah, okay. So this we're going to put inside. And we're going to put that like that. Okay, got it. So let's go ahead and close this down, and then we'll put our put that on the inside. All right, hang on a minute. Let's get this off of here. Come on. Once you get it going, it comes off pretty good. It's trying to get it off of there. All right. All right, so we're going to close this now, and we're going to put that just like that, so it glues that down, okay? Now, we're going to take our folder things, our little floppy doos, okay? This is our things. We're going to set this in here, and you can, I'm not gluing them down. You can if you want, but we're going to staple it. So you need to have a good stapler that's going to get through this, okay? So we've got that like that. Oh, I should have stapled. Hang on a minute. I was supposed to staple it before I put my glue on there. That's my fault. Hang on. See, I knew I was going to do something stupid. Hang on. We'll get it done. I knew I had to do the stapler. Hang on. See if we can get it apart. Lord. We'll just add some more tape, which is fine. Of course, we did have to use Karen tape, right? So it's the strong stuff. But we want to... All right, I'm messing it up. We want to staple this before we glue it. The tape is supposed to hold it down from the staples, with the staples. So now I've just screwed this thing up. Let me get, hang on, let me get another piece of cardstock real quick, if that's all right with you guys. Hang on, let me see if I can do it this way. Because I want you to see, it's really not that, it's not that difficult to do. Yeah, I'm going to tear it. Hang on, let me go get another piece. I'll just score it real quick and then we'll make that. Hang on a second. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there. Because I want you to see it, how it works. Okay, hang on. My fault. I kept thinking, I got to staple it, and then I didn't do it the right way. So don't do what I just did. All right, so this has got to be 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. All right, sorry about that. All right, so 4 1/4. This won't take that long. Once we get this done, we'll be 8 1/2. 8 1/2 right there. Okay. All right. Let me, let's score this real quick. I apologize for that. Oh, we need this arm open. All right. Leave it to me. Always have to make mistakes. Just screw. Oh, I got to get another piece of paper too, don't I? Designer paper. Let's see. 3 1/4. We're going to score 3 1/4. I'll get my down there. All right. So we're going to do 3 1/4. 3 3/4. 4 1/4. So you get the measurements a second time. 4 1/4, 4 3/4, and 5 1/4, 5 1/4. Okay, let me go grab another piece of paper. I apologize. Just hold on 1 second. Hold your phone. I got a piece right here. All I gotta do is snip it down. Hang on. Hold up. Okay. My apologies, ladies. And I thought we'd be done by 8 o'clock. I would have been done close to 8. All right, so we're going to make this 3 by 4, right? 3 inches. And we need this by 4. Okay, now we're good. All right, let's do this again. Sorry about that. All right, so we're going to do our folding. So we're going to fold in, burnish, and then we're going to just start folding our score lines. And then I'll come back and do a good burnish. So we're going to come up, fold it this way, and that way, and then this way. Hang on. And then this way. All right. So we got all that again. So let's give it some good burnishing here. All right. That's all right. Okay. Add our paper. Get it on here straight. Okay, so you got a 2 for 1 here. So you got to watch me do it twice. Oh, I hate when I do that because I hate messing up cardstock and designer paper. It drives me crazy. But it's okay. I can probably figure out, I can probably take time and try to finagle that thing apart and fix it. Okay, there we go. All right, let's try this again. We'll put that out of the way. Okay, so we have our little flappy do thing. Oh, well, let's put our hang on, we gotta put our tearing tape on here. Hold up, but we're not gonna glue it down yet. So we're gonna put this here. Actually, you know what? I think I'm gonna staple it first. And then we'll put the tearing tape on top. So let me get this in here. All right, let me make sure it's centered. I think that's what I'm gonna do. Yeah. Okay, we're gonna staple it right here, and then the tearing tape will go down. Okay, so let me go ahead and put that on. I'm not gonna peel it off yet. So let's do that. Let's go ahead and get this on here. Okay. All right, there we go. Okay, we're not gonna tear that off yet. Okay, here we go. For the 3rd time. All right, get this in here so it's straight. Now, this is where in the center, it's a little thick. So that's why you've got to have a really good stapler. I'm using the one that's retired from Stampin' Up, so hopefully. All right, so I'm gonna hold it like that, and then I'm gonna come through, and I'm gonna staple right. I'm gonna probably do it a couple of times. I know it does go through in the on the ends, but when we get towards the center, it's a little bit, there we go. I think that's gonna work. So I'm putting 4 staples in here just to keep it in so it doesn't, okay, so we got our staples, right? Now we're gonna come back and we're gonna, did I just do that wrong? Don't tell me I screwed this up again. No, I didn't. Whew. All right, that's gonna go like that. That's, okay, got it. Thinking, oh shit. Oops, I'm gonna say a bad word. All right, here we go. All right, so we're gonna tear our tape off. We're gonna push this down, and we're gonna squish it like that and hold it. Hopefully that's gonna hold it. And then we're gonna come around and do this side as well. And what this does, it's hiding your staples. Okay, that's where I messed up the first go round. So we're gonna just lay that there. Okay, there we go. Now we got it. Okay, we're working now. Okay, so now we have that. So now what we want to do is we've got the this. I'm going to score this so it makes it easier. I think I'm going to try it. I'm going to score this in the center, and I'm thinking it's going to be somewhere just to give me so I can maneuver it, you know, to bend it over, because this is going to be my flap to my purse. So I'm just going to put a little score line there to help me maneuver it. Now I did do that on the first one and it worked fine. So let's see if this one's going to work. Oh yeah, I think that's going to help. Okay, so we're going to pull this in, and I'm going to try to get this centered. But before I do that, I'm going to poke 2 holes with my hole puncher, and then we're going to pull some ribbon in. And I think what I'm going to do, now this is crushed curry, and tell me what y'all think. I'm thinking of using, but now that I look at this, I'm thinking, what do y'all think? This is the new wheat, wild wheat. Do you think that color is going to look all right with the, I think that'll look fine. Oh, let's go for it. Why not? Okay, so I'm going to punch a hole. And I'm just going to kind of eyeball it. Now, if you're someone that has to, you know, have it exact, then you may want to measure, but I'm not going to do that. So I'm going to put it up. Let's see, because this is going to be on that side. So I'm going to have it a little bit higher. So it will come around. So I'm just going to punch a hole there and then come across and try to get it somewhat where it's even in width and height. And I think I can come up just a little bit more. Nope, come down a little bit. And come over just a tad. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. We're going to feed our ribbon through. All right, so we're going to put this through here. And once I get it through, I'm going to clean it. Oh, we're going to go this way. Sorry. We're going to come in this way. Hang on, let me get my scissors. I didn't bring my ribbon scissors. There we go. Of course, this is a little bit thicker, right? So we just want to push it through here and get it in so we can start feeding it through. And then we're going to take that down. We're going to tape this down. So we don't want to have a big bulk there, right? So I'm just going to hold that with my hand and just try to figure out how much I want for my handle for my purse. And I'm just going to trim it probably about like this. All right, so we're going to put that one through here. Make sure we've got it so it's not curled up. All right, thanks, Marsha. All right, coming through. And then we're going to take some more tear and tape. Let me get it through here. Okay. I think that's probably be a good size. Yeah, let's do that. I think that'll be fine. All right, so I'm going to lay this down. I'm going to lay these down. I might trim this one off a little bit. Because you don't want it, I don't want it to get too bulky because then it won't, you know, it's going to be a little bulky to hold it. So I'm going to just trim it just a little bit, and then we're going to put tear and tape over these. All right, so let's do that. Get this guy out of the way. All right, so let's get our tear and tape again. And we're just going to take and lay this down. And I'm going to put some tear and tape right like that. Actually, I'm going to put a couple of layers. So just bear with me. And we're going to, because we're going to stick this to the back of our purse. So I'm going to put this, make him flat, and this guy's going to go like that. And cover him up. All right, then I'm going to come in. I'm kind of doing this a little bit backwards, but that's all right. I'm going to push that down. I'm going to put one right back here on the bottom, and then I'm going to put one towards the top. So we want to have enough glue, and I'm going to adhesive. Let me cut this off right here. We don't want him to go past our thing. All right. Y'all still with me? And then we're going to do one more like that. So let me just grab my snips, and we'll snip him off. See, look, it sticks all over to you. All right, so we're going to get all this tear and tape here. We're going to put all this down here. So we try to not have as much bulk down here, right? Okay, so this is our back of the card. So that's where we want it to go. All right, so let's go ahead and peel, because it's going to go like this. And then this is going to be our little handle once we get it closed, okay? So let's peel this off. And then we'll add our Velcro dot, and that's what we're going to use. Now this piece in the center should have been one whole piece, but I didn't do it that way. Because, you know, I have to do things difficult, right? There we go. Woo! Fingers are sticking everywhere. But it really is. This is really such a cute card. I can't wait to send this to somebody. I don't know who I'm going to send it to, but I might have to send it to somebody. All right, now, I want to make sure before I do this that I don't get this thing crooked like I did before, right? So I want to make sure it's straight. Now, I don't have any glue on here, so I'm going to lay that there just to give me an idea. And I think, yeah, I think that dot thing right there, okay, so I think I'm good. So I'm going to hold this with my hands. And I'm going to get this, and I'm not going to bring it all the way up because I want to have room for it to you know, to fold over. So I'm going to put it right, I think that's going to be pretty close as far as being straight. And I'm going to have it just right below Whoops, not right, not that, there we go. I just want to have a little bit extra, there we go. Get that there. Okay, I think that's good. So we're going to pop that sucker down. All right, and then this is going to come over, oopsie, and then we're going to put our Velcro dot. And you can decorate this if you want. I mean, if you whatever you want to do. All right, so I have some Velcro dots here, and you can get these, you know, in the order them through Amazon. What I did, these are 3/8 of an inch, 3/8 circles, and or you can get them at the office supply store. So I'm just going to peel off. I'm going to get one, and then I got to get my other one. Let me get the one that matches the other side to it, right? You wish they would sell them just all stuck together, right? It'd make it a lot easier. Let me see. I think it's this one. Nope. This is this. Yeah, this is it. You have to make sure you get the right one, right? So this is the sticky part, and that's going to go like that. Okay. All right. So now we have our dot. Let me just throw this over here, and I'm just going to lay this where I want. So that's closed. So I'm just going to put it right about. Let's see. We want it right about. All right, so we're going to go right about here. So I'm going to put it right about there. And then we're going to push that down. And there we go. All right, so there's that part. Isn't that cute? Okay, so almost done, guys. Now we just got to stamp our sentiment. And I am just going to put "for you" on one of the cards. And then we'll be done. Hang on, don't go nowhere yet. Let me find my adhesive. All right, one of these, we're going to just glue it down. So let's go ahead and do that. Oh, I didn't need two of these. What was I thinking? We only need one. We don't need two because one's going to be a gift card, right? Or if you don't want to put a gift card in there, you just put a love note. But anyways, we just need one of these because the next one's going to be for the, or do we need two? Do we want two? No, we don't want two. All right, so on here, and then I guess I should have stamped it first, huh? I'm just going to put the stamp. This came from Country Bouquet. It just says, "with love." Probably should stamp this first, so don't do what I'm doing, because you know what that means. All right, so I'm going to stamp "with love" right there. Okay. Now, you could, did I make two for over here? Hold on. No, I did not. Did I make two on this one? Hang on. Yeah, no, I did not. Okay. So we just need the one. I don't know why I cut two. All right, so we're gonna put that right in here. Did I give you the measurements? I did give you the measurements for that, right? So there that. And where'd our little doggy gift card go? Is he still in here? Nope. Where did he go? Hang on a minute. Let me find the dog card. Where's our gift card? We use Petco. You can tell I have pets. And then we're gonna put that in there. Isn't that precious? Look at that. And then you could always use something there if you want to write a note. You know, so there's all sorts of, and then you can decorate. Oh, we need to put a little thing on here. Hold on, don't go anywhere. We're going to put a little jewel. And this is from the, these are the end colors. So we're going to add a, well, we don't have green. I don't really want to do gold. Well, let's do, where's my scissors? Let's just do one of the, this is Pebble Stone, I think it's called. Let's just do one of these. We need a green one. But that's okay. We'll put him on here. And then you could always emboss this if you wanted. If you wanted it embossed or something. Or you can get a color and color something there. All right. So there's that purse. What do y'all think? Isn't that cute? All right. And then here's the other one that I did. All right. So give me a second. Let me move all my stuff out of the way so we can get our stuff. All right, I just think that's so cute. Look at that. Wouldn't you just love to get something like that? And I think this would be easy to mail. You would probably have to pay, if you're going to mail it, you probably have to put it, you could put it in an envelope, but you probably have to pay a little bit more postage because it is a little bit thick. But isn't that precious? I just thought that was the cutest daggone thing. All right, so there's our gift, our purses. And then here is our folding card that we made. And that opens like this. That cute? And then the one I did prior so that y'all could see this is my first one I did. So there we go. There is our purses. Our little, see, this thing's not sticking very well. And our cards. All right, so I hope y'all enjoyed that. And you'll have to come back and watch. Just don't do what I do. Just don't put your glue on until after you staple, but I can cut this apart because I can still use that. And I might be able to use this too. All right, everybody, thank you so much for watching me this Tuesday. I apologize that I'm running late. I hope you enjoyed these. If you make any of these little purses or this card, post them to our page so that we can see what you've made. That would be really fun because you're going to help everybody else and give them good ideas. So, all right, thank you again, everyone. I greatly appreciate you spending your Tuesday with me. And I will see you next Tuesday with some more fun fold cards.